Volo lost about $3.5 million from 3 Sui vaults and promised users would be reimbursed. The fast response helped contain the damage, but the unanswered exploit method still matters for trust. Volo Protocol Suffers centers on a Sui-based liquid staking security breach affecting WBTC, XAUm, and USDC vaults with a reimbursement commitment. The first thing to separate is the trigger from the consequence, because the same event can affect users, traders, companies, or regulators in different ways. In this case, the pressure is specific. For Sui-DeFi users, reimbursement is important, but protocol confidence depends on the technical breakdown and audit fixes. That gives the story a clear reason to watch without turning it into a prediction. The anchor is not a mood shift. It is Volo disclosed a security incident that extracted about $3. The confirmed details are concrete. Volo disclosed a security incident that extracted about $3.5 million from 3 specific vaults. The affected vaults contained WBTC, XAUm, and USDC assets. The team froze compromised vaults and said about $500,000 of affected assets were secured. Those pieces matter together because one fact shows the event, another shows the context, and another shows why the market or user reaction was not random. A broad crypto audience does not need heavy jargon here. It needs to know which actor changed behavior and which part of the system now carries more pressure. The mechanism is straightforward. Vault exploits can be contained when the vulnerable component is isolated quickly, but users still need proof of the attack path and recovery plan. About $28 million in TVL across other vaults was described as uncompromised. In plain English, the mechanism is the path between the headline and the real-world effect. If that path is weak, the story fades quickly. If that path is strong, the event can influence liquidity, access, trust, compliance, custody, or infrastructure beyond the first reaction. Timing also matters here because the affected vaults contained WBTC, XAUm, and USDC assets. That context can make the same development more sensitive than it would be in a quiet market. The affected group is not the same in every story. For Sui-DeFi users, reimbursement is important, but protocol confidence depends on the technical breakdown and audit fixes. Volo committed to fully compensating affected users from its own resources. This is why the strongest reading depends on the exact channel of pressure. For some stories, that channel is exchange access. For others, it is a balance sheet, a court filing, a wallet movement, a bridge, a vault, or a central bank signal. Here, the important channel is tied directly to a Sui-based liquid staking security breach affecting WBTC, XAUm, and USDC vaults with a reimbursement commitment. The unresolved part is narrow but important. The attacker identity and exact vulnerability were not yet disclosed. Volo Protocol Suffers should not be treated as proof of the final outcome until the missing piece becomes visible in public behavior, filings, product terms, wallet movement, or market data. That distinction protects viewers from reading too much into one move while still respecting the fact that the move can have real consequences. The next observable signal is the promised technical breakdown, compensation framework, forensic tracing, and reopening conditions for vaults. The practical close is to track the observable signal that matches this exact story. If the signal appears, the event can move from initial reaction into a clearer market or user consequence. If it does not appear, the story may remain limited to positioning, operational changes, legal pressure, or short-term sentiment. If Volo Protocol Suffers keeps developing, that signal will show whether the event becomes a lasting shift or a short-lived market reaction.